Hello my lovelies, this is Tangi from Tangi's Cakery and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be making a bridal shower cake. It is super tall and it is so easy to make, especially if you're a beginner. Here are the materials I'll be using to decorate this cake. Only thing missing are the flowers because I bought them elsewhere prior to this cake, so I just had them on hand. But these I bought from Fluffy Confections. I love their fondant and it's the one I use in most of my cakes if I'm not using premium. The thing I like about this one though is that it doesn't form elephant skin as easily as premium does. It's more sturdy. I also had them make me my topper and whatnot and a cake board. But before we get into all that, click that subscribe button below and give that like button some love for more sweet content. I like to start with the top first. I rolled out a piece of fondant that is slightly larger than the diameter of my cake and I laid on top of the cake. Then using another cake board, or in my case a box with baking paper wrapped around it, I flipped the cake over so it's upside down. Then I just cut off the excess fondant. I usually use this technique when I'm covering super tall cakes. It's very tricky to cover a cake as tall as this one using the draping method for two main reasons, amongst others of course. But my foremost concern is the fondant tearing as I'm covering the cake. Fondant is very heavy. The weight of the fondant causes it to tear before you even have the chance to smooth it onto the cake. If you're like me who rolls their fondant out to be a little bit on the thinner side, this will often spell disaster. Another reason is that the weight of the fondant just destroys the cake edges. It makes them rounded and just negates all the work that I do to get them sharp in the first place. There are other more trivial reasons as to why I panel tall cakes, but those are just me being pedantic. I also use the paneling method when I want super sharp edges. I love sharp edges, they just look so clean and chic to me. Let's get paneling. First, I started by measuring the height and circumference of my cake. This helped me determine how long and how wide my fondant panel was to be. You don't want it to be too tall and long because, as I said, fondant is heavy and it will just weigh down and flop all over the place, which is so annoying. And if it's too short, well, I don't think I have to explain why that would be a bad thing. Okay, after I got my measurements, I rolled out my fondant and cut it down to size and rolled it onto itself into a log so I could apply it to the cake. The aim is to get the bottom flush with the cake board so the bottom, which is actually going to be the top, can be nice, straight and even. If your application is faulty and the fondant settles a little bit on the bottom like mine did, no worries, just carry on. You will smooth and cut the excess later on. That's the beauty of turning the cake upside down. Cutting evenly is made much easier and it will give a better looking finish. In total, it took me about an hour to an hour 30 minutes to make this cake, excluding the baking time. Yes, it's that easy and quick. So now that my cake is covered, all that's left to do is to decorate, which is as simple as it gets. I used some fake flowers and stuck them into my cake around the front at the bottom. I had some golden leaves left from a previous cake which I used to give the flowers some life. Then I stuck in my cake topper and laid my letters onto the board using some royal icing. Et voila, we are done. Let me know what you think of this cake down in the comments, and thanks for watching. Bye.